What's your take? So for those who are joining in, right, there's the background is, you have certain blockchains which are calling themselves third generation blockchains, right? So they're labeling, Bitcoin as this first generation kind of store value, but the problem is you can't do much with this blockchain. The second generation they're labeling is Ethereum. You can put, add on smart contracts, programmable code, basically in the blockchain. And some of these so-called third generation projects are criticizing Ethereum as being too slow, as like, hey, it's not scalable, gas fees are incredibly high, and they're not moving fast enough, right? So some third generation protocols like, let's say, Cardano and others are saying, hey, we're gonna basically, do kind of what Ethereum's doing, but doing it better. And then Ethereum is coming alongside and saying, hey, no, we have Ethereum 2.0. We've got this all figured out. We're gonna lower gas fees, make it scalable, etc. No problem. And so what's your take on all of this? Do you think Ethereum has got it in the bag? Or is this something where, there will be a lot of blockchains out there that do, offer different value propositions? And what is your kind of background behind your critique of Cardano?
I don't have to defend my critique of Cardano. Cardano has to prove why it's worth anything at all. The onus is not on me. The onus is on Cardano.
Well, right? You could say that. We could say that with almost anything out there, right? For example, why is Ethereum worth $200 billion, or why is Bitcoin worth $1 trillion when it hasn't, let's say, proved its full use case, right? Yeah. So everything in the crypto world is up to being proved. So I'm just curious, like
That's right. But if you look at Ethereum, it's like, why is it worth $200 billion? Well, there are $50 billion staked in Ethereum DeFi protocols. Thousands of developers are developing on Ethereum. There's a complete like ENS system you can send money using Ethereum. Ethereum settles more value than Bitcoin. I can give you many stats on why Ethereum should justify its value. So where's the stat that says Cardano should be worth $35 billion? It's so weird. It's like somehow it's this thing right now. Every time you ask a Cardano person, what can you do with Cardano? They don't have an answer. But if you criticize it, they're like, bro, Cardano is the future. Why are you criticizing Cardano? I'm like, well, it's $35 billion. EA is worth about $35 billion. And EA entertains hundreds of millions of people daily in the world. It's built classic, iconic titles. Name me one application that runs on Cardano. I actually looked because, Charles Hoskinson tweeted out this beautiful lumograph of the Cardano ecosystem. And there are universities, there are research partners. There's no box called applications. I think there might have been like some deployed things. And then inside of that little box, there was this thing called New Balance. I'm like, New Balance? What does New Balance have to do with Cardano? So I actually spent some time to look into it. It's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't just like troll people on Twitter. I'll look into it.
Okay. So let's take a step back here. Because, so like a few things. First off, with Cardano, they haven't even, so the way I look at Cardano is, I'm not an expert by any means on it, but they've rolled out kind of a timeline that relatively they've stuck with, and they haven't even, part of their timeline was smart contracts to be coming later this year. So therefore, when you critique them for not having applications run on their protocol, the whole thing from Cardano's perspective, like, hey, what are you talking about? This is all planned out to be rolled out later this year. Like there wasn't smart contract support last year or even up until now. So for you to critique that there aren't applications running on it, it's like, I don't know. It doesn't even,
I call me old-fashioned.
Yeah.
I don't think the roadmap should be worth $35 billion. If I put together a PowerPoint that says James Wang chain will support smart contracts in 2025, should my protocol be worth $35 billion? That's ridiculous.
Okay. But you could use the same, I guess a lot of this logic could be used against Ethereum too. For example, Ethereum 2.0, who cares? The protocol doesn't matter. It means zero. So Ethereum as it stands right now with its gas fees, right, and all this stuff, is it really worth $200 billion? You could say a lot of the value of Ethereum is in its future, right? In what it can become, where it's leading to, right? So it's the same logic in some ways, no?
I agree with you. Yes, everything is value based on its future kind of potential. It's just, and how you evaluate the future is a kind of credible assessment of whether it will happen in the future. Ethereum has credibility for that future prospect because the team has demonstrated shipping real stuff in the present and in the past. Ethereum 2.0 is not strictly, Ethereum wasn't always worth $200 billion, right? A year ago, Ethereum was worth like $40 billion. So why has Ethereum increased in value to be worth $200 billion? Because in part because it has shipped so much stuff. So Cardano will get its valuation when it ships, like if the valuation is fair, except it is getting its valuation before it's shipped even the basics, which is smart.
Okay, so
Ethereum shipped the first part of its 2.0 roadmap in December of last year. So it is delivering on its promises, and its valuation is increasing, roughly commensurate with its shipping of software updates. Cardano is shipping New Balance shoes with a tracker to authenticate authenticity of New Balance shoes. That program has now terminated. New Balance is no longer using Cardano to verify the authenticity of New Balance shoes. What is the new application for Cardano?
Like a lot of this, okay, so I hope you're open to just like just chilling a bit or talking, about all this stuff from different angles. But in a way, like when you say that Ethereum has value because it's proven its adoption, et cetera. But if you think about it, just this like recent 10x from all the cryptos, like it's been like everything, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, Cardano. So it's not so much, I would say, like, oh, Ethereum has proved itself, therefore that was the reason for this big bump. A lot of it was a generalized interest and move into crypto itself. And so Cardano was one of those recipients of a big price jump. Ethereum was too, but everything got jumped, right? So in a way, this critique of Cardano could be used for many. Are you critical of all these altcoins and all these like this different stuff that you don't think has the utility yet?
I am, but the reason why I picked on Cardano is because it's funny, firstly, okay? And two, it is the highest valuation one. So if you're gonna pick, like, if 10 students are all misbehaving, you're gonna pick the one that's most misbehaving and make an example out of him. And Cardano is the top, like, for example, like last cycle, people were criticizing, things like Ripple, and Ripple now is up there too. But plenty of people are already ripping on Ripple, and I don't feel like I need to add anything there. But Cardano talks a lot of big talk. Ripple is not saying we're going to add smart contracts, right? Cardano is right here, number 6 in the coin market cap list, $35 billion. It's like,
but they haven't. They're not the ones that said we deserve this / let's pump up our price. I mean, Charles Hoskinson has come up publicly saying, hey, this is, the higher it goes, the worse it is. Like he wants to lower expectations in some ways. Okay. I mean, here's another angle, developer mindshare. Okay, so next to Ethereum, what would be, you think, the blockchain that is gathering the most interest, the curiosity? Even though, I mean, I would say Cardano is definitely one of those where it's saying, hey, developers are saying, hey, what can we do on this? And in the next year, because here's the thing, their whole rollout and plan was to, this year is to be the big year of rolling out, for example, your own native currencies, smart contracts, et cetera. But I mean, shouldn't we wait a little bit on the whole question of adoption to see how many developers jump on board, develop applications before we conclude this is, a failure or not? I mean, market cap aside, because market cap, I can make very similar arguments for a lot of things, Sure. I could say they're way ahead of where they should be. But I'm just saying, shouldn't we evaluate Cardano for, what it's, trying to do, basically?
I just don't have any reason to give it the benefit of the doubt on any of the things on its roadmap. Like, I don't see why it deserves that benefit of the doubt. And I think your point that everything else is also betting on the future is not, if you compare it to other chains that aim to be a better Ethereum, they deliver more content and application. They shipped more real stuff, and they're at lower valuations. That's why I picked Cardano. Take Cosmos. Cosmos is a, call it, next third generation protocol that's supposed to be solving many of the problems of Ethereum. Cosmos has real users. Cosmos has entire other blockchains built based on that protocol. Where is Cosmos in the list? It's number 29 in CoinMarketCap with a valuation of about $5 billion. It's worth like 1/7 of Cardano. So, like, why do I pick on Cardano? Because it shipped practically nothing, and it is like 5-10x more valuable than other blockchains that have arguably very similar characteristics and similar kind of problems to be solved with real adoption. Rune is built on Cosmos. Terra is built on Cosmos. Like if I talk about Cosmos, no one's badgering me about Cosmos, but Cardano, like part of the reason is there's a whole legion of Cardano fanboys on Twitter just pumping the price. You know, Charles Hoskinson might have said, "Oh, it's too expensive and you should calm down," but they're not calming down. Like to them, Cardano is their get to the moon ticket. And yeah, I know this is a mentality for Ripple, for Dogecoin, for everything, but those are not serious projects. Cardano bills itself as a serious project. So if you're going to be serious, then I'm going to like examine you more severely than Doge. I never commented on Doge. I don't care. I get it. It's a meme coin. Like the fact that it goes up is funny. But Cardano is not trying to be funny. Cardano thinks it's actually serious. So deliver me some smart contracts. Give me something other than New Balance shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I understand your perspective. I guess the whole thing is in a world where, for example, there is a lot of hype, you know, mm-hmm. And for example, I mean, you could apply a lot of these things to Ethereum itself, where, you know, Ethereum 2.0, there's a lot of question marks on, hey, is this really going to work at what, you know?
Dave, yeah. Beacon chains shipped in December. Tens of billions of dollars staked on Beacon chain. It's not a question.
Yeah,
it's
but
real.
It's still, yeah, I'm just saying that the whole, you know, process, right, of Ethereum 2.0, I mean, that's just the beginning stage, right, of, you know, like different stages.
Like Ethereum 2.0 as a hope, using Hopium. Yeah. Right? That was last year, and Ethereum was worth less than $100 billion last year. Like it's reality ultimately at some point catches up with valuation. I mean, Ethereum has, yes, everything has increased since January and February. We had a massive like spike in crypto valuations for many reasons. And maybe that's a case to say Ethereum is undervalued because, you know, crap coins are up 10x. Ethereum is up maybe, you know, 5-7x, and it's actually shipped stuff, right? Whereas all the nonsense coins have shipped nothing. They've just became memes, right? So, I mean, you could argue Ethereum is undervalued relative to fundamentals, but you have other blockchains that have shipped nothing since last year. Their valuations increased 10x. And if you're not serious about it, then it's a funny joke. But if you're serious about it and you're like, we're going to be the next Ethereum, like we're, you know, peer reviewed and all this other stuff, then let's have it. Then I'm gonna have some fun with you. It's like it's funny. Those people seem to very easily triggered if you criticize them at all.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just for me, I'm just like, you know, an observer looking at some of this stuff, saying, hey, you know, it feels like there is some frustration in the Ethereum world of high gas fees, and, you know, like Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to deliver on that promise to lower it significantly, but there is this pent up demand of, or this questioning of, hey, can there be a better Ethereum? And I think that's part of the reason why a Cardano, or even a lot of these other, you know, blockchains are getting great or high valuations, because there is that sense of this unknownness of what is it gonna look like a few years down the road. I mean, yeah.
I think it's pretty well. I think the reason why Cardano is pumping is because it's $1. I think that's its primary feature. Its primary feature is it has a low unit price, so psychologically it's very pumpable. When you have something else that's, you know, $50, $300, and same thing with Dogecoin. Dogecoin is like 23 cents right now, right? Things with low unit prices are highly pumpable and highly digestible for kind of retail money. So that's its primary feature. Like, why is other coins with better reputations lower? Because it's you know, it's not as, its unit price is actually much higher. If you look at the merit of Ethereum, I don't think it has to do with gas prices. I think because Cardano was built the spec and everything was built 3 years ago. Ethereum gas prices a year ago was 1/10 of what it is right now. So it's not like it's all of a sudden coming in to save Ethereum from gas prices. There is real pressure with gas prices, but Cardano is certainly not the solution for that. I mean, you can't even, there's nothing to even run on it, right? And to more of what Ethereum has done to alleviate gas prices. First, we've had this kind of like, I think gas prices now are lower than a month ago. So there's been some like bot action that's kind of driven that down. Second, Ethereum layer 2s, which are the things that will basically give you efficiencies to transactions, bundle them together off chain and then back on chain. Those have shipped. Like, this is not a roadmap. Layer 2 on Ethereum has shipped and is working today. I used Loopring 2 days ago, layer 2. Granted, the rates are not as good as layer 1, but like that is a shipped solution. Polygon is live on Aave. Like, those things are live. Those are layer 2s and sidechains. Cardano is still like not shipped even the basics. So yeah, I will be critical on Cardano.